Imagine if you found a $4 item at Goodwill and sold it for over $100,000. In today's video, we're going to see exactly that. Yeah, welcome back into the channel, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Today's video is an amazing story that there are still awesome items to be found at thrift stores. This one is from a Goodwill, actually. This young lady found a vase for $3.99, $4. Turns out it's a super rare piece of art that was made by a really famous artist and glassmaker, glassblower type guy. And she sold it at auction for over $100,000. Even after the fees, she netted like 86 grand on a $4 item from Goodwill. Are you gonna find those items every day? Of course not. But they're out there and there's still treasures to be found. And everyday items for $100, $200, $300 all over thrift stores. If you're trying to build your business and you're starting out, it's a great place to get inventory. I don't do it because I scale other ways, but that's not me saying there isn't amazing items at Goodwill or other thrift stores, because there certainly is. Let's go check out this girl's vase and how she did it. Yeah, so here we are over on New York Times where I first saw this story, and it's a girl named Jessica Vincent. She was at a Goodwill store in the Virginia area, and she found this vase designed by Carlos Scarpa, and apparently he's a renowned Italian architect. I'm no artist and not into glass or art or anything like that, so never heard of the guy, but apparently super well known. And this was purchased back in June. She bought this in June of 2023, and she ended up selling it in December for over $100,000 at auction. So she, noticed this green and red swirl vase. You can see the picture of it right there that she's got. She said she believed it stood for Murano. It had a small little M on it, which is an island off of Venice and a historical home of Italian glassware. So she had a little bit of knowledge. She knew a little something about it. She thought she might be something that was worth $1,000, $2,000. So she's 43 years old. She's told herself she wouldn't pay more than $8.99 for it, and the cashier rang it up as $3.99. However, if you think you have something that's worth $1,000 or $2,000, I'd be venturing to say I'd pay more than $8.99 for it. That's just me. She returned home from the Goodwill thrift store in June after buying it. She popped it up on Facebook. Some people started telling her that she needed to get an art auction house to, kind of evaluate it for, to appraise it for. She did. She contacted the right auction house, WRIGHT. She sent them the photos, and Richard Wright, who I would imagine is the owner, the president, he knew he had a good feeling. And on Wednesday, back in December, the auction closed at $107,100. It went to a private art collector over in Europe, and she got about $83,500. The auction house kept $23,600. They generally do keep around 20%, sometimes 25%, just depends. They determined this was part of the Penelite series that Scarpa designed in the 1940s, and it's unclear how many he made, but it was in pristine condition, which is what the value was so well on it. Some of these stories said that if it had had one scratch or one chip or one anything, that it could have dropped the value from $100,000 all the way down to $10,000 or $20,000, which is nuts. It probably would have sold for under 10 grand, so 10% of its value if it had had something, wrong with it in chips or flaws. No word on how it got to the Goodwill store, of course. Pinpointing the exact donor would be nearly impossible. They processed more than 2 million donations at the Central Coastal Virginia locations. They initially only estimated it at $30,000 to $50,000. Despite the monetary value, she didn't want to keep the vase. She wanted the money. She said the money would do more for her in her life right now than keeping the vase, although she really thought that it was cool. So she didn't want someone to break it, knock it over. She wanted it to go back into the art world, which is eventually what happened. Basically, the guy that bought it is a longtime collector over in Europe, and I guess when he dies, I saw this in the story, he's donating all of his collection to museums and different things. So that's pretty cool. Like she says, you never know what you're going to find. It is the thrill of the hunt, and for her, it was a $100,000 fine, which still turned out to be what did she keep? $86,000, whatever amounted to $83,000 was her profit on this thing. So pretty cool find, pretty cool story. Keep going out there. What's the best thing you've ever found at a Goodwill or a thrift store, any thrift store for that matter? Garage sale, yard sale. What's the most expensive item you've ever found? Biggest profit? Put it down in the comments section. Love to hear. It's cool to hear about other people's finds and stories. And as always, I'll keep an eye out for these awesome high dollar, once in a lifetime flips that people find when they pop up in the news. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button. Helps the YouTube algorithm, turns that thumb blue, and it means a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos, and I will see everyone next time.